Welcome to Lesson 6 in Unit 17, Streamside Survival. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, how do plants affect wetland ecosystems? In this lesson, students conduct an investigation and collect data about how wetland plants reduce flooding. Students figure out that wetland plants use their structures to keep the habitat healthy. These plants can prevent flooding, lower the temperature, remove pollutants, and provide space for many living things to thrive. Students make connections to the storyline by adding to their model of a wetland plant to include structures it uses to support a wetland ecosystem. There are several opportunities for ELA and social studies cross-curricular connections throughout the lesson. You can look for specific standard connections in the Unit 17 Teacher Guide. This lesson will take approximately 4 days to complete. For the Engage portion, you'll begin by showing students a video clip of a wetland ecosystem. You'll then ask students what they notice and wonder about the video. Then ask them how they think plants affect the ecosystem. You'll then revisit the driving question board to add any new questions and highlight others connected to the learning goals of this lesson by calling attention to questions about how plants affect the environment and other living things in the wetland. You can post and discuss the ecosystem vocabulary card. Prior to the Explore portion, you'll need to prepare the materials and water needed for the wetland ecosystem model. Be sure to review the tutorial for more information for the setup and procedures. You'll have students use the Modeling a Wetland Ecosystem student journal page to conduct their investigations. For the Explain portion, you'll bring the class together and lead a discussion about students' observations from their wetland plant investigation. You'll use the provided questions to guide your discussion around the question, how do plants affect wetland ecosystems? The goal of this class discussion is to analyze and compare student observations to determine the role of wetlands in an ecosystem. You'll use the discussion to create the Lesson 6 summary chart. By the end of the discussion, students should understand that wetland plants use their structures to maintain a healthy ecosystem, providing a place where many different plants and animals can survive. You'll also have students read Wetland Plants, Superheroes of the Ecosystem. During the reading and discussion, you can post and discuss the erosion and pollutant vocabulary cards. For the Elaborate portion, you'll ask students how they think the wetland plant they've been researching supports the wetland ecosystem and complete the summary chart discussion. You'll then provide students time to research ways their plants support the wetland area. You'll direct students back to their Plant Adaptations student journal page and have them add new details about how their plant supports the wetland area. Students will then use the new evidence you observed from the activities to add to their plant models and the Gotta Have It checklist. You can have students use the peer feedback table tent cards to provide feedback to each other on their models. You'll circulate during this time to also share feedback. To support student sense-making across the unit, you'll orient them back to the driving question board. You'll ask, did we answer any of the questions on our driving question board? If there are questions that have been answered, you can remove them from the driving question board and place them on the summary charts. You can use this as an opportunity to answer the section driving question, how do plants survive in a wetland habitat? You'll then have students complete the Section 2 summative assessment. By the end of this lesson, students will have made observations to collect evidence to explain how plants positively affect a wetland ecosystem. In Lesson 7, students will use what they learned throughout the unit to design a museum display about wetland plants and animals. For more information about this unit, visit mysidepartners.com.